Hello everyone, my name is Neha and today I am going to discuss previous year questions, and I have taken questions from 2011. So here is our first question. Question number 1, which was asked, which among the following is the main ingredient in cement? Basically we have to find out the main ingredient of cement or in cement, and the options are, first option was gypsum, limestone, clay, ash. Gypsum. Second option limestone. Third option clay, and the fourth option ash. So it was given which one is the main ingredient. See, all the ingredients are present in cement, but the main ingredient is limestone, and the formula is calcium oxide. Why it is called lime? Because lime, it is calcium is there, calcium oxide is there, so it is limestone which is present in the form of calcium oxide. So our answer will be option number 2, calcium oxide. Now the next question we have, yes, the solution in a test tube containing H2O question number 2, solution in a test tube containing H2O and NaOH. Okay, now NaOH can be differentiated. NaOH can be differentiated with the help of first option is red litmus, second is blue litmus, third option is sodium bicarbonate and HCl. So now in this question it is asked that in a test tube, if we have taken water and base NaOH, then I give it to you, and without your knowledge, if I tell you to ask what is the liquid, which type of liquid is present in this test tube, then what will you do? And I will say you have to identify whether it is acid or base. Then what will you do? The first thing you will do the litmus test. So now what happens, whenever base is there, bases turns red litmus to blue. While acids, what acids will do? Now what acids will do? Acids turns blue to red for acids, and sodium bicarbonate is a base and HCl is an acid. Now NaOH is already a base. If I add base, then what will happen? The basicity will increase. Now what will happen if I add HCl? Then there will be neutralization reaction, and we will get what? Plus HCl, we will get salt and water, NaCl plus H2O. In all these cases, what we have to do? We have to check with the red litmus, which turns bases into blue color. Understood? So this will be our answer. This all won't be our answer. The next question is, now I'm just writing options because this question is this is little lengthy. The question is lengthy, but the answer is short. The next question is, see, a student heated some sulfur in a spatula and collected gas X. Which among the following is correct about the X? Now what happens in a spatula, a student has taken sulfur, and what he is doing, he is heating it. So now after providing heat, what will happen? Sulfur is heated, means in the presence of oxygen, what will you get? You will get SO2. So now the options are, this is the question. So sulfur is being heated in the presence of oxygen, and what we got? We got SO2. So now which one of the options are correct? The first option is X is SO2, and it turns a moist litmus to blue, and X is SO3 and it turns, I'll write the options. X is SO2 and turns moist litmus to what? Litmus to blue. Next is X is what? X is SO3. X is SO3 and turns moist litmus to red. Option C is X is SO2 and turns moist litmus to red. X is SO2 and turns moist litmus to blue or red. Let me check. To red. The first option, it is blue and then red and then red. Next is X is SO3 and turns moist litmus to blue. Now out of these four options, you have to identify which one is correct. Now see here, litmus tests are given, and if it is acid, it will turn blue to red, and if it is base, it will turn red to blue. That we already know. Now we have to identify whether sulfur dioxide is acid or base. This is the only thing we have to do. Then for acidity and basicity, what we will do? We will just add some water to SO2, and after adding water, we will get H2SO4, which is an acid. So now we can answer the question. So X is SO2, that is true. X is SO2 and turns moist litmus to blue. That is not correct. So now X is SO2. This SO3 will be cancelled. Now this one also is cancelled because it explains the basic nature of SO2. But we know that SO2 is acidic in nature. So now our answer will be option C, because SO2 is acidic in nature and it turns blue litmus into red. So this is our answer. So like that, wherever this tricky type of questions are given, first you have to go through with the help of reaction. You see which type of reactions you are getting. After getting the reaction, you can easily say that the given compound is an acid or base. Next question is, question number I guess 4. So whatever, human stomach produces X. Now X, which helps in digestion of food? Which helps in digestion of food. So now what is X? So the options are given, which helps in digestion of food. So acetic acid, methanoic acid, hydrochloric acid and citric acid. So the options are acetic acid, methanoic acid, then hydrochloric acid, HCl, and the fourth option is citric acid. See, the acid which is being produced produced by our wall of the stomach is HCl. HCl only the acid which helps us in digestion, but sometimes it overshoots, sometimes it becomes it produces a lot of acids, and that causes acidity. So we call it, I have acidity in my stomach, that is because of HCl in huge amount, but small amount of HCl is required for the digestion of food. Next question is, so now see, in this question is very easy. It is given that conc H2SO4 conc H2SO4 is spills on the surface, spills on the surface. Then what will you use to clean this H2SO4, and which is conc, which is not diluted? Then the options are given: with the piece of cloth. The second option is adding cold water. Third option is adding sodium bicarbonate, Na2CO3, and the fourth option is adding solid barium chloride. Now whenever acid is given, and if we have to neutralize the effect of acid, then what we will add? We will add some amount of base. So now in this first option, the piece of cloth, because it's concentrated, so if we clean it with the help of cloth, then what will happen? It will causes some dangerous effect to our hand. And by adding cold water, if we add cold water, then what will happen? Conc H2SO4 will get diluted. And if we add sodium bicarbonate, then sodium bicarbonate is in base. Understood? Sodium bicarbonate is in base. So if we add base to H2SO4, then it will neutralize the effect. Acid base reaction will be there, and it can be it will produce salt and water. Solid barium chloride we can't add, but because it will react with H2SO4 and it will produce some harmful effect. So basically we add, so wherever acid will be there, you have to add just simply base to neutralize the effect, and you will get salt and water. So this was our answer. Now next is, next question is, the bee sting leaves an acid which causes pain and irritation. Now we have learnt about ant sting. Now let's see what about bee sting. A bee sting produces acid simply, and produces acid which causes pain and irritation. The injected acid is the injected acid is, the options are acetic acid, sulfuric acid, citric acid, and methanoic acid. Acetic acid, sulfuric acid, C is methanoic acid, and then last is citric acid. Now see, this acetic acid is known as vinegar. Understood? Now H2SO4 we already know, methanoic acid we know, and the citric acid is being found in citrus fruits like lemon, oranges, like that. So now what happens? See, H2SO4 we cannot be found in bee stings. So wherever we have seen all these acids, only the option is for methanoic acid or formic acid is being found in ant sting and bee sting also. Then what we will do, if we have to neutralize the effect, we will add some amount of base, and as we know the formic acid and methanoic acid is weak acid, so generally we apply weak base to neutralize the effect. Next is, see the next is next is a question based on displacement reaction. The next question is, iron nails are dipped into a blue copper. Iron nail is dipped into a blue copper sulfate solution. Then what we will see after some time? Basically, after some time, iron nails are means what will happen after some time. So basically, to understand this question, we have to write the reaction. What is happening? See, iron nail is Fe, and it is dipped in which solution? Copper sulfate solution. Now, because of the high reactivity of iron, what will happen? This will replace copper, and what we will get? FeSO4 plus copper will get. The copper will be separated out and will get FeSO4. So now we will see there will be copper coating on iron nail, and the solution will turn, initially it was blue in color, and later we will get green in color or greenish in color, green color. The solution will be of green color, and copper will be deposited on iron nail. So this is the reaction, and this happens in the reactions. Now dissolved in blue color is discharged, dissolved blue color is not discharged, not dissolved and blue color is not discharged, not dissolved but blue color is discharged. So basically it will dissolve and the blue color is discharged. So basically this was the reaction. So whenever iron and copper is given, iron will be more reactive, and it will displace the copper from the solution. Next is, a student by chance mixed acetone with alcohol. So basically it's a mixture, and in the question it is being asked. So question is acetone, any acetone is given. I'm going to write this. This is an acetone, and it is being added with alcohol, any type of alcohol, CH3 CH2. I am writing ethanol. By chance student has been mixed both alcohol and acetone. Then if I ask you to separate, then what will be the methods of separation? So basically the options are given: filtration, second one is separating funnel, third one is fractional crystallization and fractional distillation. Fractional crystallization and fourth one is fractional distillation. So now what happens, wherever filtration is there, there will be solid liquid concept, or there will be suppose solid is mixed in liquid, then we can filter the solid out, and if precipitate is there in the solid, we can filter out. But in this case both are in liquid state, we cannot do filtration. Separating funnel also we cannot use because both are in liquid state, there is no precipitation, there is no solidification, so we won't use separating funnel. Fractional crystallization also we cannot use because that depends upon the solubility. This principle works on the solubility of different rate of solubility. So that is also not happening here. Now the last option which is left with fractional distillation. Now in fractional distillations or distillation, what happens, the liquid which is we boil both the liquid and the more volatile, the boiling point, the liquid which has more boiling point, more means less boiling point means more and less means the less boiling point will boil first and the more boiling point liquid will boil later. So if the liquid which has less boiling point, that will be boiled first and that can be evaporated and that can be separated out, and the liquid will be more boiling point will be left out in the boiling container. So like that we can separate. For this we have to know the boiling point of the individual liquid and we can separate it out. Suppose if acetone boils at suppose 200 degrees Celsius and alcohol boils as 150 degrees Celsius. So at the 150 degrees Celsius we'll boil the liquid and we'll get the alcohol out and the acetone will be left in the test tube or the container. So our answer will be fractional distillation. That works on the principle of fractional crystallization. Fractional distillation, this boiling point basically. Now the next is all these questions are from NCERT. So questions are basic, but some concept is required. The next question is, silverware turns black after period of time due to formation of silverware turns black after some period of time. And what is the reason for this? Due to the formation of nitrate coating on silver. Nitrate coating on silver. Second one is a sulfide coating on silver. Sulfide coating on silver. The third option is chloride coating on silver or oxide coating on silver. Chloride coating on silver or oxide coating on silver. Now what happens, see, whenever silver is exposed in air, then what happens, it will react with H2S. It will react with silver, will react with H2S. Understood? And it will form Ag2S. Silver sulfide and H2. We will get what? We will get H2 at the end. So now because of the formation of this is black in color. Because of this formation, the silverware turns black after some time because of the formation of Ag2S, silver sulfide. And what happens, because of the after some period of time, and because see, the oxide, it won't be because of the oxide, because if it is because of the oxide, then it will be, we won't be use silver for our jewelry or ornament, because it will easily, it will be, it will be rusted. So there will be loss of metal also. So it won't happen, and the chloride coating will also not happen, and nitrate coating will also not happen. Only sulfide coating will happen, which is black in color. So our answer will be option 2. The next question is, so here which of the here's few statements are given, and we have to find out the permanent hardness of water. See, permanent hardness of water is because of the presence of few elements, that is permanent hardness. In this question it is being asked, what is the why permanent hardness happens, and here which of the statement is given below is or are correct. So permanent hardness of water is due to permanent hardness of water is due to, and the options are chloride of calcium, bicarbonate of calcium, chloride of calcium, bicarbonate of calcium, third option is sulfate of magnesium, bicarbonate of magnesium, sulfate of magnesium and bicarbonate of magnesium, bicarbonate of magnesium. See, all these magnesium, calcium, everything is being found in water, and that makes water permanently hard. So now the calcium chloride we can write CaCl2, bicarbonate will be CaHCO3, and then sulfonate, because it does not contain sulfonate basically, so sulfonate will be MgSO2, and the bicarbonate of magnesium will be like that. So basically, see, chloride of calcium is there, bicarbonate of calcium is there, and bicarbonate of magnesium, because MgHCO3. So in permanent hardness of water, that happens because of all three, that is magnesium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, calcium bicarbonate, and calcium chloride. It does not happen because of the bicarbonate. So whatever option that contains 1, 2, 3, that will be our answer. So our answer, in this case, our answer will be option D. Which of the following statement about diamond is correct? So now for diamond, see, here few statements are given. Now for diamond, few statements are given. The first statement is, it is used in jewelry. It is used in jewelry. Second option is, it is good conductor of electricity. It is good conductor of electricity. Then the third option is, it is used for cutting glass, and it is used for cutting glass. Then next is, it is used for drilling rocks. It is used for drilling rocks. Now in this option, it is being, we already know that the diamond is being used for what? The 1, 2 and 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. Huh. So now it is used for jewelry, and it is used for cutting of glass, because diamond is hard, and because of hardness, because of hard in nature, we used it for cutting of glass and drilling in rocks. You might have seen that there will be a pen kind of equipment to cut the glass, and at the tip of the that pen kind of equipment, there will be diamond. So that diamond is being used to cut the glass, and the drilling of rocks also contains diamond. So option 1, 3 and 4 will be right. If it is good conductor of electricity, no, because diamond contains carbon, and carbon is non-metal. Non-metals does not contain electricity. If it contains heat and electricity, if it conducts heat and electricity, then it will be very difficult to wear jewelry of diamond, or diamond. So we cannot use it as a jewelry if it conducts electricity or heat. So our answer will be 1, 2 and 1, 3 and 4. Now the next question is, yes, 1 minute. So now the next question is, see, in this question it is given brass and bronze. Brass and bronze. So now the question is, both brass and bronze are the mixtures which is made up of copper. So now why bronze is used for medals and statues and why brass is used for utensils and other equipments. So now what happens, this brass contains copper 80% and zinc 20%, and this bronze contains copper 90% and tin 10%. Now what happens, because this bronze contains 90% of copper, that means bronze is costlier than brass. That was the first reason. And the second reason is, tin makes bronze means the mixture of tin and copper makes, because of the presence of tin, it makes long lasting, means it increases the durability of the bronze. But in brass we add 20% of zinc and 80% of copper, because it makes brass as cheaper, and it makes brass inconvenient to use for vessels and other equipments. So these were two reasons, because of the composition and because of the presence of different elements. Next is, which of the following statements are correct regarding the glass? Now what is glass? Glass is an amorphous solid. So now glass, which of the following statements are correct? The first statement is, glass is supercooled liquid having infinite viscosity. It's a supercooled liquid having infinite viscosity. The second option is, violet color glass is obtained by adding MnO2. The violet color glass is obtained by adding MnO2, manganese dioxide. Now third is, glass is a man-made silicate. And the last option is, it's a crystalline solid. Now this option is correct because we already know glass was amorphous solid. Glass is what? Amorphous solid. Now the first option is, glass is supercooled liquid and infinite viscosity. What happens when heat falls on the surface of glass so slowly moves. Basically it behaves as a liquid and it moves like a liquid moves. Like that, glass also moves, but not like because movement of liquid we can see through our eyes, but movement of glass we cannot see. It's a slow process. But you have seen the glasses and the window pans of old buildings, the bottom of the glasses will be thick. Why it happens? Because the glass flows like a liquid, and glass flows from upward to downward, and that happens, and it has infinite viscosity is not fixed. Now this option is correct. It's a man-made silicate because it is being obtained from silica, that is SiO2. Now the options are given. Yes. Now violet color glass is obtained by adding MnO2. That is also not correct. So only the option first and the third will be correct. It's a super cool liquid, have infinite viscosity, and it is a man-made silicate which is obtained from SiO2. So this is our answer. So now we have done with the question. I think few more questions is left. I think so it was around 13 to 15 question being asked. The next question is, okay, so now we have already done with the questions from 2011. So these are the questions, and thank you so much students. Thanks for watching. See you in the next session. In next session I will be discussing more questions related to chemistry from NDA syllabus. So thank you.